Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer. So guys, in this video today we're gonna cut and sew the dress you're seeing in the video. So guys, for this dress we're going to use Dutch satin. As you can see, that is the wrong side and the right side. So this is the right side on open and unfold. This is how it's looking. We're gonna start cutting first our lining. You must make sure your fabric is unfold. So we're gonna bring in the center front and our two side front. If you didn't watch the tutorial yet, please go to my YouTube channel. The pattern tutorial is already on the channel. If you're my regular, thank you so much for coming back. If it's your first time to the channel, please give this video a thumbs up and welcome to the family. So guys, this is me placing the pattern of the fabric. Make sure you leave 0.5 all around for sewing allowance. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to comment. Please give this video a thumbs up. Thumbs up really helps grow the channel. So we are done with our front. Now we're gonna work on our back pattern. The back pattern, if you are going to use a zipper, you can leave it just the way it is. But if you're gonna use it like a corseting, I'm gonna measure 2 inch. I'm gonna remove the 2 inch. I'm actually gonna fold my pattern because maybe next time if I needed to use it as a zipper, then I'll use it the way it is. So if you're gonna use it as a corset, just remove the 2 inch. You don't have to cut your pattern, you just fold it. If you are using just like a normal bustier top with a zip, leave it the way it is. So this is how the pattern is looking after folding my 2 inch off. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut our back lining. Please make sure it must be on fold. So you must have your 4 pieces. And please leave sewing allowance all around 0.5. Before cutting, you must always make sure your pattern lay flat. And one more thing, you must always notch the up of your top while sewing. You mustn't get confused, especially if the back is looking the way it's looking now. You must always notch. It's very important because once you remove your pattern, the marking you did earlier won't be there anymore. So I'm going to advise you to always notch the top of your top. Yeah. So our lining is done. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the main fabric, the Dutch satin and the beaded lace. Your fabric must be unfold. The same method we did with our lining, we're going to do it now on the actual fabric, the Dutch satin. So you're going to bring in your center front, your side fronts, and please cut it in the shape of the lining. Don't add another allowance. We're going to cut the beaded fabric. Please, you must make sure you fold it. But this beaded fabric, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter than my actual top because I don't want those beads to stand on my skirt part while the dress is done. It's not a must to cut it this way. It's a choice. You can go ahead and cut your top full length, but for me, I don't want this bead because it's a little bit bigger bead to stand on my skirt because my skirt is going to be satin, but it's not really necessary to do this. It's a choice. We're going to do the same method on our back. Like I said, If you don't want to do this, you don't have to do it. You can cut your full beaded. But for me, I don't want this bead to stand on my skateboard. This is why I'm folding my actual fabric. I just bring in my fronts to cut my back. So after cutting, I'm gonna go ahead and open the fold to just show you what I mean. And once the dress is done, I think you're gonna see what I mean. Yeah, but for now, I did it this way, and this is how it's looking. Don't worry, the lining and the actual fabric was folded. It's just the beaded that is a bit shorter. We're gonna do the same method for the back piece. This is how our top is looking. Now we're gonna move to the skirt part. So we need our boning, caps, zip, and this is the lining for the skirt. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut the actual fabric. I went ahead on my slit line. I add 2" because I'll need to fold it later for my slit. So on the front, your fabric must be on the right sides, and it must be single, not unfold. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our slash and spray method. I leave in between. It's gonna be like 1.5 inch because I want bigger pleats. You can use 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 inch, but for me I'm gonna use 1.5. So if your pattern is not sitting right, please don't hesitate to cut it even deeper, because you want your pattern to sit straight and flat because your fabric is on open. So take your time, arrange it properly. By doing that, your pin must always be closed. You must make sure you are pinning, making your pattern sit flat and pinning everything. Now you're gonna go ahead and add your sewing allowance. So on my waist, I'm gonna take 2 inches. On my hip also 2 inches, because you never know, I lose and gain weight too much. I don't understand my own body. So on my knee line, I'm gonna add only 0.5 and connect it to the 2 inch I did take on my waistline. And on top of the skirt, I'm gonna also take 0.5. Then I'm gonna make a straight line of my skirt. On the slash and spray, I will actually put more allowance because I must still fold it. So I'm gonna take 3 inch on the slash and spray that side. So the straight line I did is just to mark my waistline, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take my 3 inch, 2 inch, and then 1 inch until I met my knee line 0.5, and I'm gonna take from the knee line to the skirt length 0.5 down there. How the skirt is looking, I'm just gonna film a little bit closer. You can see 0.5 down there from the knee line, 0.5, and I went up 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. You can see how it's looking on top there on my slash and spray. And make sure you pin, like I said, you pin. If your pattern is broken, it's not a problem, as long it must lay flat on your fabric. Before cutting, you must make sure you fold your pleat first, you pin it, and then you go ahead and cut. Please, before you cut, make sure your pattern is laying straight and the pleat it's well pleated and pinned, and then you go ahead and cut. After cutting on the pleat side, you may just take your pin and pin it on the edge of the fabric, as you can see in the video, because you don't want to lose the form of your pleat. So this is how the skirt is looking after cutting. I went ahead and removed the pattern. You must now replete your pleats properly. I'm not quite happy with this way of pleating. I think later on I'm gonna pleat it upward, but for now I'll just go ahead and secure this pleat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give this skirt parts on top and on the side of the pleat a stitch to secure it. This is our lining. Remember, our lining is just normal. It must just be normal. It mustn't have any slash and sprayed. So I just put it on to show you. Now we're gonna cut our back on the actual fabric. The first piece we did cut was the lining, and make sure open your pattern must be full. On the lining we did fold because I want that fold on the bottom. So this is how it's looking after cutting, and I went ahead and put everything together, the front and the sides. This is how it's looking. I noticed my front was a little bit too long, but I fixed that. So we're gonna move on the lining. The lining, we start with the lining because that is actually the base of our dress. I'm gonna go ahead and join those lines. Remember, your fabric must always be on fold for your side front. After stitching, you must go ahead and stitch now the boning. You must open these seams, then you stitch your boning. Before that, you must leave 1 inch on top and 1 inch on the bottom. So this is the type of boning I'm going to use. I actually love to work with stick boning, and for me, I think I did buy 5 meter. So yeah, it depends on how many you want to lie. If you want to put us on the side of the top, you can buy 6 meter, but for me I just use on the front and the side back. On my side seam I didn't put any boning. So this is me stitching. Like I said, you must leave 1 inch on top, stitch your boning on the one side and on the other side. One more thing is important is you must always secure your boning with that paper salad tape, or you can use a lighter. You bend the bottom and the top of your boning because you don't want that to be pinching you on your body. You must actually leave 1.5 on the top, because you're gonna stitch another boning on the top, and leave 0.5 on the bottom. Please don't leave 1 inch. The first, I just look at the video now, I'm like, that was wrong. Yeah, so now you must go ahead and measure your boning. I'm supposed to show you this first. This is how you measure. You leave 1.5 on top, and on the bottom 1 inch. Then you take your boning, you cut. So you must go ahead and do this with your front, and you do this with your back also. So this is how you secure your boning. If you have a paper sellotape, this was just some tape that was laying around the house, I use it. And you can also burn, like I say, you can burn your boning if you don't have this. This is how the top is looking. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an iron. After ironing, I'm gonna go ahead and now place my cups. So this is the cups I'm going to use. I went ahead and removed that metal you always find inside, because it's not really necessary. So I went ahead and open and remove it, because I'm gonna stitch, so I have to remove. So on my front, I'm gonna place these 2 cups. The wrong side of the cups must face the boning side, and you see this curvy side must face the boning side. Like you can see, I'm squeezing it in the video, because the lining, the right side of the lining is going to be attached to our body. So the cups, the wrong side of the cups must be faced on the boning, and the right side must be on top. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but this is what I'm showing, because we need it to sit right on our boob. You must always make sure you pin, and when you pin, the difference between the boob must be 1 inch on the top, and on the bottom 1.5 or 1.2. So you must make sure you always pin your stuff, even if you're a Pro Max. Okay, just go ahead and pin, and watch what I'm doing in the video if you don't understand what I'm saying. This is how it's looking after pinning. If you see it's not looking like this, please go ahead and restart. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew it, and this is how it's gonna look after sewing. I went ahead and placed the boning, you see, on the top between my cuffs, and on the bottom in the middle. You must also place a boning to support the cups, as you can see in the video. This is how the top lining must look. So that was the wrong side, and this is going to be the right side that is going to sit on our body. This is why I did say you must leave 1.5 on the top, because we're going to stitch the boning on the top of the lining. It's gonna help the main fabric to sit properly. So when you're gonna do this, you must start where your sewing allowance started. Remember, I didn't leave a lot of sewing allowance. The sewing allowance was like on the side seam 1 inch. So from the 1 inch, from the other side also, I did leave 1 inch. You measure it like that, then you cut your boning. You secure your boning with tape. If you don't have tape, you bend it with a lighter. This is me double checking, so you can see I did measure the 1 inch I did leave. So you must always double check, and then after measuring, you're gonna go ahead and place our boning and sew it. So this is how our lining is looking. As you can see, this is the side that is going to be on our body. As you can see, I did leave 0.5 where I'm gonna stitch my main fabric. So this is how it's looking. I just put it on me so you can see how it's looking. Now we're gonna move to our back pattern. As you can see, I did put the boning on top there. I did leave also 1.5 on top. You can see in the video I stitched my boning. I went ahead and secure it and leave 0.5 on the bottom. So I'm just gonna show you again. So this is how the back pattern is looking. I'm gonna go ahead and do my loops and then stitch it. So this is how the loops is looking on the. Now we're gonna move to the main fabric of our front. Remember, the center front must be unfold. You must just align everything properly and then pin it. Please, you need to pin this. After pinning, this is how the top is looking. We're gonna go ahead and break this bead. This is another job. So to make a beaded top, it's never easy. There's this new foot, but I didn't buy it yet. But for now, I'm using just normal foot. But I'm gonna use this needles. It's very nice with beaded fabric. So if whatever you have to break doesn't break, please use your nipper or scissor. So this is how the top is looking after sewing. I'm gonna go ahead and join it with my lining. Don't just rush to the sewing machine and start sewing. I'm gonna advise you to always pin. Like pinning, it's gonna give you the form on how the thing is gonna look before sewing instead of sitting and unpicking. So you must always pin your stuff before sewing. So now I'm gonna pin my front lining and my actual top on the 0.5 I did leave, and I went ahead and removed the bead on top of the actual top. Like I went ahead and sit, guys. This take a lot of time and patience. This is why beaded trays are very expensive to custom make. So this is how the top is looking. I went ahead and sew it. you can see my actual top is on the bottom and my lining is on top, which I'm gonna flip. Now we're gonna move to the back. So this is the main fabric of the back top. As you can see, I went ahead and iron my seam, make it flat, and I'm gonna go ahead and join it with the lining too. And you must make sure on the lining the right side must face the right side of the main fabric, must face the right side of the lining. Then you're gonna go ahead and stitch it. The 0.5 we did leave on top, and I'm not gonna close the side seam and the bottom. I'm gonna close only the top. The side seam of the center back I have to close, but the side seam of the side back must be open because I'm gonna overlock all around. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please watch the video I'm showing you with my finger, and please always rewatch and understand the tutorial before you do something. I always insist on that. So after sewing, this is how the bag must look. I'm gonna go ahead and add another boning channel, but this time I'm gonna stitch out, and make sure when you're gonna make a new stitch you must remove the beads again, or else you're not gonna stitch. If you don't have a beaded fabric, then lucky you, but for me I went ahead and flip the fabric. As you can see, I'm just showing that I'm gonna add that boning in that boning channel, but I have to stitch it on the right side. My tape did finish, so I went ahead and used a lighter. I bent my boning. So now we're gonna flip our back, and now we're gonna stitch our new boning channel, where we're gonna insert the boning. Now I'm gonna stitch. I'm just gonna show you how I'm doing it. After stitching, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the boning. So this is just to support your back. So this is how the back is looking. Now I'm gonna go ahead and create a cup, because I don't want my body to show at the back, and the cup must be the same length of the top. So now I'm gonna overlock the bottom and the side seam because it's open. Same with my front. I'm gonna go ahead and overlock the side seam and the bottom of the front. Joining the front and the back, I must first create a cup that is gonna cover the back, because I don't want my back to show. So the whiteness is gonna be 6 inch, because I want it to cover completely. At the length, it must be the length of the back. So this is how it's looking. I went ahead and do it. I cut my main fabric and the beaded lace. Place it this way you are seeing in the video. I'm not going to stitch with my machine because of the bead, so I don't want to break the bead on that part, so I'm gonna do an end stitch with my needle. just watch what I'm doing in the video. Before sewing, you must always make sure you first pin and check if it's sitting properly. After that, then you go ahead and sew. This is me just double checking. This is how it's gonna look, my back. Then I'm gonna go ahead and sew it. Like I did say, I can't top stitch this with my machine because of the bead, and I don't want to break the bead because this thing I'm sewing it from the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stitch it with my hand. This is how it's looking after sewing. I'm just showing you nicely. So I didn't grab my actual fabric. I was actually sewing on that boning on my back fabric. So now we're gonna go ahead and move to overlock. I didn't overlock it yet. Now I'm gonna overlock it, and then we're gonna join our fronts. And you must pin on your boning, then you go ahead and overlock. So pin your lining and your actual top. So this is how it's looking after overlocking. Like I did say, I did the side seam and the bottom of the top. Now we're gonna go ahead and join our front and back. This is how the top is looking. I went ahead and fitted. So if you want to keep it as a top, you must just go ahead and hem the bottom. Yeah, but if as a dress, we're gonna go ahead and move to the next. On my front skirt, I went ahead and secure my pleat, but I was not quite happy the way the pleat was looking because it was looking down forward and I didn't like it. So I'm gonna unpick and make my pleat look up forward. In that way, it's gonna sit nice on the skirt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the first stitch, pleat it again up forward so the pleat can sit nice, and then stitch it again. If you don't understand, please just watch the video and repeat it and watch what I'm doing. So the pleat is now looking up forward, and I'm gonna go ahead now and stitch a new stitch to secure it. This way it's gonna sit nice on my skirt. After stitching, I'm gonna go ahead and put my lining on top. I'm gonna stitch the top and the bottom. As you can see what I'm doing, you must pull your lining because your lining is shorter than your skirt fabric. You have to pull it. So after sewing, this is how it's gonna look. You must only sew the top and the bottom for now, and then we're gonna go ahead and flip it around. Just watch what I'm showing in the video. After that, I'm gonna secure my lining and my actual skirt fabric. I'm gonna stitch it also around. I'm gonna also stitch it around before I join it with my back. So before going to the sewing machine, you must first fold your bottom of the skirt. Remember the lining was shorter than the actual fabric. Then I'm just gonna put the pin there and go and stitch my skirt all around and top stitch on top there. on top of the skirt, and I'm gonna remove all my pins. This is how the skirt is looking. Now we're gonna iron our pleat. To secure it, make sure when you iron, your iron must have water inside. You must iron and press properly before removing the pin, so your pleat can sit properly. So don't remove your pin. You remove your pin after ironing. So I went ahead and do my back also. As you can see, this is the back on top of the front. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch. This is my slit side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put my body measurement, my hip divide by 4, my hip divide by 4, and on my knee I'm gonna go in only by 0.5 until the bottom of the skirt. We're gonna work on our skirt zip. So on your waist, you must take your 1.5 or 1 inch measurement you did take on your pattern. You're gonna mark that, or mark that with a chalk. I didn't mark, I was just showing with my finger. And then you take 1 inch. So from that 1 inch is where your zip is gonna start. So watch what I'm doing now. I'm just decide to show you. So I mark my 1.5, which is my zipper allowance, and 1 inch. So from that 1 inch is where now I'm gonna put my zip. And you must always make sure you iron your zip before putting it on. That is the first thing. The second thing, you must always nip your zip before sewing. And most important, you must have a zip foot. It's very important. So this is me just connecting the 1 inch to the 1.5 zip allowance, so I can go ahead and iron. After ironing, then I'll iron my zip and place it. Must go ahead and mark on the other side before putting on your zip. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put my zip, and please make sure you pin your zip. I add and stitch my zip. This is how it's looking. Your Dutch set and the stretch you want to stitch a zip, it's really a miracle. It's not easy, so I tried my best. So now I'm gonna join my top and the skirt, and you can join it from your waistline. I didn't actually record that part. This is me doing the upper dance lag. Yo guys, this dress took my time and I did it like few days before the event. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a sleeve. I want it to be just like this, then I changed my mind. So on this sleeve, I want it pleated. The whiteness, first you must mark 10 inch and the length 50. I did mark 40 and then later on realized 40 is too short because I'm gonna put my pleats. So 50 it's better. After marking your 10 inch, you must go ahead and connect it with your ruler. Then you take your tape measure, you start measuring You start with 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch, 5, 6, 7, 8 until you reach 10. So this is me measuring. So 40 was too short, so I have to add 10-inch. And when you add that in 10-inch, make sure you connect it. Connecting, I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Go ahead and stitch on the sides. As you can see, I'm showing in the video. To make the pleats, you must measure where it's like a stripe, where your stripe starts, like from your chest line to your back. So this is how it must look after stitching. Like I did say, you take your tape measure, you measure where your chest line starts, where your top starts, till the back where your top also starts. Then the pleat must be that size. After that, you must go ahead and make a binding. You bind your sleeve and then you sew it to the actual top. I didn't record this part, so I'm so sorry. A skirt finish. You can just go ahead and top stitch your slits if you want to, but I don't want the stitch to show on my skirt, so I went ahead on the slit side. I did end stitching, as you can see in the video. After that, I went ahead and iron my slit and the bottom of the skirt, because I always iron when I'm sewing, so it wasn't quite a lot of work. I'm just showing you in the video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't subscribe yet, please subscribe. So this is me slaying the dress I did. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next time. Please leave a comment. Don't hesitate. Bye bye.